Let's go ahead and hop over to the USL Super League, why don't we? Where there is a new team on top. Again, Gio Conyas, our friend, please post the meme because right now we have a Fort Lauderdale on top of the table as they take a 2-0 win over Brooklyn FC, where Brooklyn has been sputtering after the winter break. But Fort Lauderdale, this entire season has just been as consistent can be, where Shania Gordon walks away with a brace to get both goals in a 2-0 win. It was a fantastic showing out of Fort Lauderdale. Really impressive as Brooklyn opens up Coney Island for the first time, which was a cool place to see them play. But I'm sure the Brooklyn faithful wanted to see a better performance out of the lads.
The Latzes, I like it.
Aye,
They
sir.
haven't reported an attendance number yet, but every indication from the club was that they were nearing a sellout, maybe more than 7,000 people. So we'll see what the number looks like. And that was on what I can personally attest to was a pretty ugly Saturday in terms of the weather up here in New York. But yeah, I mean, awesome to see what's going on with the fan side of things. But Fort Lauderdale really took it to them. As always with this United side, you've got Hamid and Gordon on the wings. And this was really the coming out party for Jasmine, or rather for Shania Gordon in terms of her goal scoring. She's been somebody that's stretched the sidelines all season long, hasn't really been rewarded in terms of the goal contributions. But you throw in the impact of Addie McCain and Kiera Prioli kind of disrupting things against Brooklyn's number 8s and number 6s, working to the break, getting Gordon chances. It was a strong game plan from Tyrone Mears and company from Fort Lauderdale, and a little bit more evidence that I think Brooklyn needs to add a little something in that midfield.
Yeah, and this was a Fort Lauderdale team to the tail end of the winter schedule. They had gone, I think it was 6 of their final 7 games without a win, and to open up the spring schedule with 8 matches, or their last 8 matches having gone unbeaten, they've really turned around their fortunes here in the Super League and established themselves atop the league at the moment. But yeah, Brooklyn, even though they're still joint with Fort Lauderdale atop the league on points, they need to certainly figure something out, and it's a tough match coming up next for them against Dallas.
Something I kind of noticed, and I don't want to take anything away from Fort Lauderdale here because, like I mentioned, they have been consistent all all season long, really. But unfortunately, this feels like more of the conversation is kind of the fall off of Brooklyn because it is so sudden. And I guess my question, John, is what's kind of caused it? Because when I watched it, like what we got used to in the fall section of this is this free flowing midfield that just kind of linked together and really created beautiful goals. And there were times that the ladies were just absolutely just bumping into each other. They were going into each other's spaces. It's like they had no idea where they were supposed to be, which doesn't really make any sense to me because it doesn't feel like they lost any pieces that or really gained anything that would cause this major disruption. Are you kind of seeing the same thing?
For sure. And I think it's the rest of the league catching up. Like Brooklyn came out and from day one had that level of chemistry and organization. To the credit of, like, for instance, Fort Lauderdale in this match, they understood that Brooklyn, when they're trying to build out, they want to get Sam Kroger involved in the number 6 spot, kind of let her drop in, and then you're flowing into the midfielders in the half spaces. The workbook is out on how to stop that. Like we saw 2 players kind of sitting in the middle and clogging space for United. Dallas did it with an extra presser a couple of weeks back when they routed Brooklyn. If you can stop that from happening and stop Brooklyn from being able to establish control in the attacking half, suddenly they aren't able to be free flowing. They aren't able to counterpress in the same way. You're kind of losing the rhythms that made Brooklyn so effective early in the season. It'll be interesting to see how they change the system. I think personnel-based shifts haven't really worked in the past couple weeks. I would be looking for something a little bit more systematic. Maybe you go back 3, maybe you really put a focus on direct build from the back. I don't know what the answer is, but something's got to give.
I mean, Brooklyn has gone the last 5 hours without scoring a goal. And this is a team who, at the end of the winter schedule, they had 4 consecutive shutout victories.